let's get ourselves ready. And we will start seated tall. So once you're seated, wiggle around if you need to. I'm lighting our candles here. So important to see fire in the morning. So if you light a candle every morning and just say something silently to yourself, there's something beautiful in that practice. For now, let's see if we want to wiggle out anything else, and then we'll start to come into stillness. And pull the chin in slightly. So let's check in with the head. Let's take the head down for a moment. And then lift the head upwards. And bring the head to neutral. So the eyes are level to the ground. Going to pull the chin in slightly, just a little bit, and then send the crown of the head upwards. So it's a very subtle adjustment, but it matters. And then let yourself relax into the sitting bones at the same time. So we have the chin slightly in, the eyes are level to the ground. The sitting bones are pressed down. Breathe in through the mouth and the nose at the same time on the inhalation. On the exhalation, clear that out through the mouth. And it's leaving the mouth and a little bit through the nose too. So we'll inhale. And exhale. Just let the mouth stay open the first few rounds. Now we'll start our victorious breath. You can inhale through the nose and the mouth as we've been doing. And then open the mouth wide and kind of relax and stretch there and fog out. Mouth stays open. Focus on that inhale through the mouth. Close the mouth, exhale through the nostrils. Keeping that activity in the throat. It's so important to come into our breath before we come into our mantra so that we can confidently create these sacred sounds. And even if you're not going to chant, at least you'll be in this calm, deeper state to receive the meaning and the sounds themselves. So Shiva mantra, I'll give the meaning and then we'll chant together. Just absorbing as you do so. I bow to the presence of the divine within, our true and highest teacher that lives in and around us as being, consciousness, and bliss. It is ever present and radiates peace, lighting the way to transformation. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's bow to each other. And now let our bodies come down to the mat, all the way onto your back, where we will bring, excuse me, the legs and take them forward and then stretch the arms back. So after coming into that seated position for a while, we want to just open up the hip flexors and let the maybe wrists move in circles, maybe the feet point and flex a few times, the low back lifting up and off the mat. And then from here, bring the arms down alongside the body, plant the feet. Once you plant the feet, let the knees draw in towards each other. So like you're knock-kneed, I think that's the term. The knees touching each other. And then let the arms rest alongside the body. Now, right here, we're going to take a few deep breaths. And take your attention to the trunk. Notice if you're breathing in that successive pattern that we always look for, where you start in the belly, you work your way up like a wave up into the rib cage, and then up into the chest. All of that expanding in that order. And then as you exhale, release from the chest, the rib cage, and then back down into the belly, which might pull in a little bit on the exhalation. So let's intentionally focus on that final pulling in. So inhaling, expanding through belly, all the way up to the chest. At the top of the inhale, the belly will pull in a little bit. And then exhaling, releasing from the chest, the rib cage, the belly, bottom of the exhale, belly pulls in, and you'll notice the low back is going to kind of press into the mat as you're here. So let's continue a few of these. The legs are in a specific position to help facilitate relaxation. Now continue to breathe deeply, even though we're going to shift the focus. So we're training the body to do some things without our fullest attention. We want to see if we can hold that in the attention, but also something else. So now we'll take the thumbs behind the head, right to the grooves of the base of the skull, those occipital grooves. And we're going to put some pressure, some self-massage with the thumbs into the space. So you can go in opposite circles here, just taking those thumbs and moving them up and out, down and in. Exploring the circles. Maybe you go around like the edges or come back into the center and let the pressure be fairly firm. You don't have to be light here. Put some pressure. This is a place where we hold a lot of tension. And so our week is something that we're shedding, all the memories of the week. And we simply don't need. We don't need them in the way that we think we do. Now we'll rotate the thumbs in the other direction. Might organically let an exhalation be released out through the mouth. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and stop the thumbs there, but let's interlace the fingers behind the head and let the head rest on the hands. And then we're going to just pick up the head. So without activating the neck, use the strength of the arms to pick up the head and draw the chin towards the chest. We'll take 5 breaths here. So no effort in the neck, it's just in the arms. And we'll lower the head down. Okay, release the hands from the back of the head. Just bring them alongside the body. Turn the head to the left. And bring the head to center and turning it to the right. We'll bring the head to center. And then from here, let's draw the right knee in towards the chest. We can keep the left foot planted for now. Just focus on bringing right knee in. And we'll go ahead and extend this left leg so we can focus a bit on the right hip flexor. So guide this right knee side to side. You might need both hands or just one hand. You might take the knee into little circles or bigger circles. And then you'll find that spot that just feels more natural for your leg to be in that spot. So it might be a little bit more center, it might be a little off to the right. And I really do think it's a matter of how you tend to sit typically. So if you tend to sit cross-legged a lot, you'll probably have fashioned the body where it's going to feel more comfortable off to the right. If you sit in a chair with legs forward, probably more center. So find that spot, and then we're going to take 5 deep breaths as we keep that position and take a few deep breaths. Keep drawing it in, although you're going to keep the leg in that same general spot, the knee in the same region. You might put a little extra pressure. And releasing some stuck tension in this region of the body from all the sitting we do, all the kind of semi-activity. So now we'll start to release this. Once you've gotten those 5 breaths in, can bring the leg back to center. Now we don't want to trigger this muscle to activate, so we're just with the hand going to gently lower the foot down to the mat. And then very slowly, can just inch the foot forward, slide it forward, slow enough so the muscle doesn't think it needs to do something. And once you have the leg, right leg straight, we'll just rock it a little bit, rock the leg. Let the toes face inwardly, outwardly. And then just relaxing that leg and paying attention to the sensations between the left leg and the right leg, particularly in the area we work, the hip creaser. You can almost sense that that right side that we worked on is more alive, that there's a buzzing sensation, or feel the temperature is more noticeable than the left. So it might be cooler to you, might be warmer to you. But the left side probably would feel more dull and just kind of there. So this is really important in our practice to be attuned to these sensations. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and work with the left leg. So we'll just keep the right leg straight, and then we'll pull this left knee in, have the hands around the knee. The first time that we were here, first few breaths, we just had this leg pulling in. Okay, so when you're ready, start to rock this leg side to side. By the effort of the arms. Okay, so if you were rotating in circles, you'll make sure you go the other way as well. And then we'll start to look for that sweet spot. It might be the same general direction as the other side, or structurally, it might be different for you. So see where that spot is, and then focus on just pulling the knee up and into the upper body. We'll have 5 more deep breaths. Okay, little by little, very slowly, start to guide the foot down using the hand, not the leg itself. And once the foot is on the mat, slowly extend the left leg. Once the leg is extended, start to just rock the leg. So you're rotating the hip inwardly, outwardly. And then we'll let this leg go and pay attention now to the top of both of the legs, right in that area of the crease, leg crease, and below it and slightly above it. Hopefully you feel the similar sensations between the two. So what we're feeling is energy flowing. Now we'll set the left foot down. I almost don't want to move my legs. It just feels so good, but we'll get it to feel even better. So we'll take the left foot down and now take the right leg and extend it skyward all the way up. And right from here, hold this right leg with the hands right behind the thigh and start to move the ankle in circles. So right leg extended and the ankle moving around. Let's bring some flow into the ankle and the calf as you now flex and point the foot. And from here, we'll go ahead and keep the foot flexed. Bring the hands to the lower part of the leg and now guide this leg so we can come to reclining pigeon. We'll bring the right ankle on top of the left thigh and then lift the left leg and pull that leg in with the hands. So we'll take 5 more deep breaths here. Before we go further, let's actually create some resistance. So push the right leg into the left leg, right? So this right, right above the ankle, it's going to push into the thigh, left thigh, and then relax that. As you're relaxing that, pull the left leg in, and then push the right leg in again to the left thigh, and then relax the right leg, draw the left leg closer. We'll do this again. And then relax the right leg, and now we'll take a couple deep breaths. Noticing when we do things like that, when we create that resistance, we can get much, much further. So activating the muscle helps us to relax the muscle. We just have to do it properly. And we'll release the left foot down. Bring the right knee right on top of the left knee. So we're crossing legs, just like we were sitting in a chair cross-legged. Take the arms out to a T and let these legs, as they are, folded like pretzels, fall over to the left. Let the head turn to the right. Take another deep breath. And then we'll bring the left foot back to the mat and let the knees fall over to the right, just keeping them as they are, crossed. So these twists with the legs also twisted around each other. Give a little bit of a different experience in the back and as well as in the legs. Another deep breath. And we'll bring the left foot to the mat once again and release the right foot to the mat. So we're going to go into the other direction. We're starting first by taking the left leg skyward, straightening it up, holding the left leg, so it doesn't have to do much here, except work with the lower part into the foot. So we'll circle the ankle. Breathing consistently, deeply, still letting that victorious breath flow through. So continue to move this foot, circles, flexing, pointing. But always remembering, what is the meaning of that breath? Victorious breath, or a breath that removes obstacles. And so we can think about that in terms of the obstacles in the physical body. So all of this movement that we're doing is helping with that, so that life energy can flow through more fully, more completely. So when you're ready now, flex the left foot as you maintain victorious breath. And then we'll guide this leg, take the hands of the lower leg and guide the left leg to the right thigh. So left ankle right about on top of the right thigh, and then we'll pull the right leg in, hold that right leg with the hands, maybe to the hamstrings, fingers interlaced, maybe to the shins or knee. And we'll start first, if you found that the resistance activity helps you, you can engage that almost any posture. But if you'd like to just do what we did before, we took a few breaths first without resistance and just let the glutes stretch. Let the left leg relax. The right leg is relaxed. We're holding it with the arms. Let the eyes soften while you're here. The facial expression neutralize. Or at the very most, you know, a little bit of a smile. Okay, so now we'll start with some resistance. So let's push the left leg into the right leg. And then relax the left leg as you draw the right leg in closer. Pushing that left leg in and relaxing. A couple more of these. Good to do that on the inhalation. Activating on the inhalation, relaxing on the exhalation. You might notice one side more tense than the other. And it's always good to investigate that at some point. Okay, and then just allowing the left leg to relax as you pull it in closer using the right leg. And we'll set the right foot on the mat. Wow, we've been on the back for quite a while. We're gonna change that a little bit. It's kind of nice on a Sunday morning though. Let's take this left knee on top of the right knee. And then take the arms out to a T. Now we'll just let the knees fall over to the right, keeping them one on top of the other. Turning the head to the left. Let the shoulder blades get heavy. Anchoring the body down, the upper body. Notice the lengthening of the belly, the waist. And let's bring the right foot back to the mat, but keep the left knee on top of right, and then let the knees fall over to the left as you turn the head to the right. And we'll come back to center, right foot on the mat. Release the left knee from the right. And we're just going to roll over to one side now and take a couple deep breaths here as our transition to come to a more upright position. Okay, so when you're ready, press up. And we will come right into a downward facing dog, actually. So find your way to hands and knees. Rolling over the toes. And taking knees up. Five deep breaths, exploring. Okay, we'll look forward and then float the feet to the center of the mat. Right to the center, right into forward fold.
And keep the knees bent to start. Let the arms stay nice and loose. Let the head relax.
I think today's a good day for a squat. Now we can take a supported squat. So we're going to be in a squat for a little bit. So if you have blankets or blocks that you're going to work with, bring them close by, and then separate the feet to the edges of the mat. Okay, from here we'll start to lower the hips down and see, how low can the hips go so that you can stretch the heart up and bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center, and have elbows to the insides of the knees, pressing them open. So if the hips drop, you could be here for quite a while without the need of any support. But you might find that it's difficult to do, so you can actually just build a seat and then be able to be here now. Even that might be a little too high, so just do your best. If you have to have the hands down, that's fine, that works as well. But we'll see if we can hold this, for at least a minute. Now this is a good place for creating some resistance. So if you have tightness and you're feeling like you're restricted, then this is a good place to push arms and legs into each other. And I think pretty much all of you have done that before with me, so feel free to do that, especially if when you're seated, your knees are much higher than your hips. This is a good spot to do it. About 30 more seconds. See if you can lift the heart a little bit more. And that was our minute. So we'll bring the hands down, lift the hips up, and come into a forward fold with the feet still spread to the edges of the mat. Going to look for a nice little twist as we're here. So we can have the left hand down, bend the left knee, and take the right arm upwards. Now, if it feels a little too low to have hand to the mat, elevate it to a block or bring elbow to left thigh. Now we'll see if we have this hand on the floor, on the mat, if we can crawl those fingers over to the right, a little bit more closer to that right foot, and then press into that left hand. You might roll this right wrist around a little bit. One more breath. And then we'll exhale, release the right hand, switching sides. Right knee bends, right hand down. Inhale, lift the left arm upwards. And then see, once you're there, once you find the right spot, see if you can twist a little deeper, maybe walking the hand to the left. One more deep breath. And we'll exhale the left hand down. Let's fold for a good 5 breaths. Maybe while you're here, you can keep the legs and the arms straight. And then check in and see where you're collecting the weight. If you're going forward into the toes and they're starting to clench, you'll want to send the weight back towards the heels and lift the toes so you can feel ball and heel of the feet on the mat.
We're going to take one more full breath. Make sure you get at least one clearing breath in here, or maybe a breath in and out through the mouth as we begin our practice with. And then we're going to come up halfway. So lift the head, look forward. Pause here for a moment. Feel the activity in the neck. And then exhale, release. Let the head go completely all the way. Inhale, come up halfway. You might just rise up to the fingertips, lifting the head. And then exhaling, bring the palms back down. Lower the head all the way, let it go. Inhale halfway. Exhale, lower. A couple more of these. And then once we come up halfway, this time we'll pause there. Bring the hands to the hips. And then rise all the way up to standing, nice and slow. You can keep the legs straight, or if it helps you, you can bend the legs there. Okay, once we're in standing, we'll bring the feet, hip systems apart, shake the body out, swing the arms maybe, whatever feels good for you to just loosen up. We're going to be coming into some postures with the feet spread apart. If you have blocks and you're going to use them like in a triangle posture or extended side angle, then at least set up the one towards the front of the mat. Or if you've got two, you could just set them upright, one and then the other, on both sides of the mat. So when you're ready, let's step the left foot to the back of the mat, bring the arms to a T. Now we're going to start first with not so much of a wide distance between the feet. So just if you look down, maybe it's 48 inches or less. And then we'll come into angle posture to start. So let's bring the right hand down and take the left arm up and over. So right hand down to the right leg, left arm up and over. So it helps if you're, if you're facing left side of the mat. I mean, I tend to do that, but if not, you will just probably need to notice what I'm saying, because sometimes my language is about the left side of the mat. So we just have right hand to right leg, left arm up and over, bending to the right with the leg straight. Feeling the left waist stretching. And then we'll rise up to center. Now before we go to the other side, just notice left waist, right waist. And then we'll switch left hand down to the left leg, right arm up and over to the left. Two more breaths, feeling right waist stretching. And inhale, rise back up to center. You can bring the arms to a T again. And then we're going to separate the feet wider now. So taking them apart so that they're just about underneath the wrists. Now we'll shift the right toes to face forward and the left toes just inward slightly. So just adjusting them about an inch. We're going to lunge into right knee and come into extended side angle posture. Before we do that, let's stay here in a warrior bee for a moment. So we'll flip the palms upwards, the arms separated, looking past the right fingertips. And then we'll flip the palms down and then back. Right? So we're going to work with the rotation of the shoulders as we're here. So now go ahead and flip the palms up and then flip the palms down and back. And just take a few more of these as you're still lunging into this right knee. then we'll have the palms flipped upwards. Lower the right forearm to the right thigh. So elbow resting on right thigh. Inhale the left arm up and over the left ear. Okay, so really stretching now. See if you can feel the activity, this like power running from the left heel up to the left fingertips. Now maybe look up past the left hand. If this feels really easy for you, you want to go a little deeper, you can bring right hand to the inside of the right foot, to the outside of the right foot, either one. You can also take the hand to a block if the mat is a little too low. Look up past the left hand. You have the support of the right hand. And we're going to start to come out of this side. So when you're ready, rise back up to a T, straighten the right leg, and then we're going to shift. So left toes now. We'll say face forward or face the back of the mat, whichever direction you're in. Arms are to a T. Lunge into the left knee. We'll start with our warrior bee. Right toes in slightly. And we'll just start to rotate the shoulders again. Keeping the arms nice and long, the fingers spread, palms shifting back and up. Doing our best to keep the arms level. Sometimes we feel like they're level, but they're actually like pretty off. You know, I catch myself all the time. And so that paying that keen attention to all the parts of the body. Now we'll keep the palms flipped upwards. Exhale, lower the left forearm to the left thigh. Now we didn't stay in our warrior bee too long, did we? Nope, that was even. So now we'll go ahead and take your right arm up and over, and then really stretching, focusing on right heel all the way out through the right fingertips. Okay, imagining a line of energy. You're actually creating it. And then see if maybe going further is going to suit you, but eventually take that head and look up past the right hand. Find the edge of the posture, that spot where the body can be, but you feel a sense of challenge, but not pain. Just a gentle pressure that with every breath or every few breaths you can get past a little bit. Another deep breath. And we'll inhale, start to rise. Use the core to rise carefully. Arms to a T. Now we'll find eagle arms from here. So let's reach the arms upwards and then cross one elbow in front of the other. It doesn't matter which side, just pay attention to which side you're doing so we can even out on the other. Then you might be able to just take tops of hands towards each other and push them into each other. Or you might be able to wrap the hands around each other and find the palms press into each other. Right from here, we'll bend the knees. Bend the knees. Focus on sending the elbows forward away from the chest and upwards towards the ceiling as you keep the arms intertwined. And now we'll start to lower the trunk, keeping the arms with the same kind of pressure in the same direction. Lower it all the way down. So now the elbows are looking to get closer and closer towards the floor, so are the hands, and you can release the head completely. Fully immersed in every posture, soaking up every posture with the breath. Now we'll start to unroll the spine. The arms can stay as they are. Once the head rises, take the arms, unwinding them, reach them upwards, and then find the opposite order of your elbows. Wrap the arms around each other. Okay, once you have that, bend the knees. Focus on taking the elbows forward and upward. And then when you're ready, begin to lower with the knees bent. Another deep breath. With the knees bent, unroll the spine. Once the head rises, unwind the arms. You can reach them upwards. And then we'll bring palms together, thumbs in towards the heart center. Now we're going to move into extended triangle posture, Utthita Trikonasana. So right toes pivot to face forward, left toes again slightly in, just like we did before, but this time we'll keep the legs straight. We want the heart to face out in the same direction as the hips. And the shoulders are also facing that direction, right? So it's kind of like star posture. We keep the arms to T. It's just that the toes are pointing in different directions. Then we'll reach out with the right arm and look forward past the right hand. Okay, still feel lightness in the waist. Feeling light in the waist. Lower the right hand to the right leg, wherever it goes to naturally, and then take the left arm upwards towards the sky, so that the trunk is still over the right leg. And the legs are both straight and the arms are both straight. So if it's hard to keep the legs straight, then you'll just take the hand up the leg a little bit, right? But see if you can lower and keep the trunk over the right leg. See if you can take the eyes and follow them up past the left thumb. Maybe the block is going to come in handy. Just a very light support with the right hand. We're leaning into that arm. Take 2 more breaths. Really notice the left waist. For balance, we're going to look down at the right foot, rise up to standing, use the core. Arms come back to a T and then pivot the other direction now, so we'll work on the left side. So left toes are facing forward, that foot is parallel to long sides of the mat, right toes come in slightly. Feel the shoulders, the hips all facing off to the side here, the front. And then reach out with the left arm, looking past the left hand now. When you're ready, left hand comes down to the left leg, and then we'll inhale the right arm upwards. Keep pressing the trunk and the arm into an invisible wall right behind you. See if you can have like all points of the body pressed against this invisible wall. And if you ever have a wall that's clear, you could practice this right to the wall and you'll see what I mean. So maybe looking up past the right hand. Just being attuned to the body so you find the right spot, that sweet spot where you have just enough challenge. And we'll look down at the left foot. Use the core to rise up. Arms to a T. Right from here, let's bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, find a back bend. Look upwards. Exhale, fold forward.
Once you've released all the way down, grasp the big toes with the peace fingers. This is wide leg forward fold, letter C. Inhale, lift halfway up, lift the head, look forward. Do your best to keep the legs straight, but if you have to bend them, that's fine. And then exhale, lower down. If you can, heel toe the feet apart to get a little bit more length in the legs. Check in and see if that'll work. And then we can let the head go. Every exhalation, pull the body down, the upper body, pull the upper body down with the hook of the fingers to the toes. Take a nice clearing breath. We're going to take some of the things that we just did and turn them into a balancing posture. So let's go ahead and come up halfway, lengthen the spine, bring the hands to the mat, and then walk over to the front of the mat, or let's say the right foot. Walk over towards the right foot. Now keep the back heel lifted and begin to rise up. So now we're needing to balance a little bit here. We have a lunge with the back heel up. We'll reach the arms upwards. And what we're going to do is find an eagle posture. Now, you can stay here if you'd like, or you can try it and see how it works. And then if that doesn't work, you're going to come back to this. But wrap the right elbow in front of the left elbow, so the left elbow is closer to the chest. Okay, find those eagle arms. Then when you're ready, come forward into the right leg, keep the right knee bent, and draw the left knee on top of the right knee. Now from here, you can do two things. You can either have the foot down, left foot can come down to the mat for balance, or if you can do this with one leg, you might just keep this left ankle floating, or you might be able to wrap it around the calf. Now today we took a reclining pigeon, so you could stand with left ankle on top of right thigh, like a single-legged chair posture. So we're just going to take 2 more deep breaths and be okay with this notion that we're challenging our balance, and maybe our balance isn't where we want it to be, and that's okay. We're not here to judge any of it. We're just noticing how it's going. And then we'll start to come out of this by taking that left foot to the back of the mat, unraveling the arms, reach them upwards, and then we'll reverse out. Exhale, take the hands down around the right foot, walk over to the left leg, left foot. The back heel is now the right heel and it's lifted. We'll rise up to a lunge where we have left leg lunging deeply. Take the arms upwards. So I know just throwing this balancing posture in the middle of everything kind of, it's hard. Right? We haven't done enough maybe to get us prepared for that, but that's okay. We're not always fully prepared before we do something that's challenging. And so now we're going to have the right leg in front, so we're going to have the opposite with the arms. We'll have the left elbow forward, the right elbow closer towards the chest. Wrap the arms around each other. And so the point is, once we're in this difficult position, just being there as best as we can, as present as we can. Breathing deeply, making any adjustments we need to. So bring the weight forward into the left leg. See if you can take right knee on top of left knee. Maybe hook the toes behind the calf or bring the toes down to the mat. Maybe sink into a deeper bend in that left leg, or adjust and take right ankle to left thigh. 3 breaths. We'll start to unwind. Take that left leg behind. Reach the arms upwards. Hands down around the left foot. Walk to the side of the mat where we're going to fold for about 3 deep breaths. And you might be able to take the feet a little further apart and just release. Maybe the hands just rest on the mat.
We're going to take this same posture in seated. So this is a wide leg forward fold from standing, but now we'll find the seated variation. So when you're ready, heel toe the feet a little closer together, hands down, and then just come to your bottom. Right to the bottom, and then extend the legs out. So let's, when we're here, reach the arms upwards and come back into the fold. Exhale, fold forward. So if you feel like there's a force that's pulling you back, that your back is being pulled back, there is a force, and it's the tightness of your muscles. It's just what's happening there. So we have to compensate for that. So you can either sit on, because we'll be here for a couple minutes, so you can either sit on blankets to help out, or you can bend the knees, or both. And then just release. So taking the arms far forward as far as you can, and then letting the head go. Another option is to have blocks and have the hands on the blocks, so you don't feel like you must have the hands low to the ground and that you must have the trunk low. It's okay to change the shape of these postures. Now we'll focus on deep breaths. So maybe you'll take those breaths in through the nose and the mouth today, as we did earlier. And then exhale out, completely letting yourself just be here, be in the body, be fully present in the toes, the sensation of the toes, the sensation of the ankles. Sensations in the calves and the hamstrings, much more noticeable maybe than they were before. The glutes, the back, from the low back to the middle to the high, upper part of the back. Maybe you want to let the head go, just let the neck be. Maybe you'll rest the forehead on a surface, hand or block. Mentally immersed in this position. Now we're going to see about making this posture a little bit more comfortable by visiting the sides and stretching the lower back a little bit better on the sides of it, and then also stretching each leg a little bit more. So let's start to rise up and then just walk closer to one leg. And in that you can have hands to the inside of the leg or around the leg, or you can take hand to the outer opposite hand to the outer leg or foot. And then just start to relax into this as well. So find a place where you can just let the head go, where you can watch the exhalation and that relaxation that you're triggering through it. And when you're ready, rise to come over to the other side. So just a halfway rising, walk over to the other side, fold into this leg. And we're going to take one more breath. Come up halfway or maybe all the way, whatever feels right. But then we'll lower all the way back down in the middle and just see how much we were able to change this posture by visiting each side and focusing on a part a little bit more intensely and watching how doing that, all the parts come together to change the whole completely. We'll take about 3 more deep breaths. Just enjoying this ability to release, relax, to rest. The only way really to restore our body, our mind, our energy is to rest. Their language tells us so much about the true meaning of what we're seeking. We'll take more exhalation, and then we'll start to walk the hands up to come to seated. And use the hands to help the legs. You've just been through a whole lot, so we're going to help them come closer together. And you can face the front of the mat. And then lower all the way down. Let's find that length we found earlier today, taking the arms behind and stretching the toes forward. Lifting the belly button, feeling the low back contract. So we're intentionally now contracting the low back in this specific way to help balance the body after that deep forward fold we were taking. And relax, lower the back. Okay, take one foot to the mat at a time, bringing the knees to bent position. Now we'll take right ankle on top of left thigh as we did before. Lift the left leg, pull this leg in with the hands. Just as we did before, same posture. Right ankle flexing, left leg relaxed. Lift the head and take 2 full breaths. And then we'll lower the head and bring the right knee on top of the left. Arms to a T, let the knees drop over to the left. Keep the shoulder blades down, turn the head to the right. Let the knees get heavy. And now we'll activate the legs again. Bring the left foot to the mat. Keep right knee on top of left. Drop the knees to the right. The head turns to the left. And we'll plant the left foot, unwind the legs, and bring the left ankle now to the right thigh. Flex the left foot, lift the right leg, and pull that in with the arms. Okay, when you're ready, lift the head, draw the leg in closer, take 2 full breaths. And bring the right foot to the mat, left knee on top of right knee, arms to a T. Draw the knees over to the right, shoulder blades stay down, head turns to the left. We'll keep the knees crossed, right foot plants, knees fall to the left, head turns to the right. And we'll bring the right foot back to the mat, release the left leg. Let the knees draw towards each other now, and letting the legs relax here as the legs are bent for now. Take the hands behind the head and find those grooves again in the base of the skull. Give some more attention to this region. Now you might notice that if you trail down the neck, the thumbs and the pressure at the neck itself might feel good. You can visit there for a moment. You might go towards the ears. We might go just for a full scalp massage here, so just check in and see. You know, might keep going around the occipital grooves, or you could start to work now through the rest of the scalp, taking the fingers all the way, you know, around closer towards the forehead, the top of the head. Release tension here, behind the crown of the head. Eventually find the temples. Let your fingers work the temples. And now let's just go to the face. So you can take the hands and all 4 fingers, take them to the center of the forehead and put pressure and draw them over towards the temples. You can do this once, twice, maybe 3 times. Smoothing out the forehead and the temples. Then take fingers, maybe index or middle finger here, both, and trail from the inner eyes, that corner of the eyes, the bridge of the nose, trail the nose underneath the eyes and work your way to the outer face closer to the ears. You might do this again and work a little lower this time, down towards the top of the jaw. And then you might do it one more time here, working down towards the chin. And we can take the fingers to the upper lip and press in and work our way out towards the jaw and towards the chin, starting in the center, working our way around the jaw, and then letting this go. Nice clearing breath out through the mouth. and finding a restful position. So maybe now, maybe you're happy where you are with the knees together, and maybe you'd like to straighten up the legs and just relax completely. Maybe the hands stay one hand to heart, one hand to belly, or you might just let go completely and let the palms flip upwards towards the sky. Allow the body to surrender to its environment. There's no control at this time. There's no need to do anything, to say anything, to show anything. No expression. Just completely surrendered to this. Body heavy. And yet the soul feeling lighter. Resting completely. Without changing anything, notice how relaxed you are. Now, if today's a day of rest for you, maybe you can resolve at this time to stay this relaxed, or maybe just a tad more active, right? But stay this relaxed as best as you can through the day today so you can fully restore for the coming week. So begin now to deepen the breath and move the hands and the feet. Find some movement as we make our way to Siddhas. So maybe knees bending again. Might stretch arms, whatever way feels good. Roll to the side eventually. And then little by little, pick yourself up. If you need more time, feel free to just go slow. Once you come to seated, check in with the neck. We didn't do anything specifically to target the neck, so see if you want to move the head around or tilt the head and stretch a little. And then we'll be sealing our practice today. So we'll bring palms together, maybe drawing the head slightly. At this time, I'll chant Mangalam mantra. This is the time where we take this energy that we've cultivated, peaceful energy, really peaceful, restful, and relaxed. This is closer to our true state. And so we want to be able to take that and send it outwardly to the world, to all the worlds, to all beings, that they may be happy, healthy, and free from suffering, and properly guided to the truth. Svasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahi mahisha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu loka samasta sukhino bhavantu loka samasta sukhino bhavantu loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste.